YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Super excited to bring you this brand new creation from Eflite, Timber X UMX. And yes, those are huge ailerons, huge. And check this out. I didn't even have to set it up. Well, sort of. But anyway, safe select, AS3X, lights, everything you want from an ultra micro, even ball link attachments. Amazing. Okay, so without further ado, take off flaps. We're just gonna drag that out. Oh, guys, you've never seen a UMX handle a landing or take off better than that. Look at that. I haven't even given one click of trim, and look how super amazing this is flying. Okay, I'm on 3S, that's 20% power. Watch this, full throttle. Holy cow, that's crazy. Wow. So let's see if I can hover in my own Brian Phillips special sort of not good way. So if you guys want to get your CG back, don't worry, you'll be able to get it back. And look at that inside out loop, amazing, guys. Cornholes with the best of them. Camera crew is probably not going to be too happy about this. Okay, full landing flaps coming in now. 2-second deployment, something they didn't call for. Amazing. Just loving the way this thing handles. It is not dead calm, but it's mostly, okay. I like the yellow and white. That's something we haven't seen before. Okay, a little bit of trim to the left. Just trying to get it to full landing flaps here. Trying to get it to go up on its nose. We'll try to do a prop hang. Oh, so cool. Whoa, guys, that was close. Almost bit the dust, but not quite. So yes, this plane is well built. Look at this, ground handling on a UMX. Are you kidding me? Since when do we get ground handling? I don't remember the original Timber UMX doing any of that. Okay, out of the flaps altogether. Let's see how it does just like a standard flight. I'm at like 20% power. I'm loving the power to weight ratio. It's amazing. Beautiful. Let's go under the sun here. Camera crew, let's go to the middle of the runway, please. Perfect, right there. Okay, I'm gonna do some passes just like that. Woo! You guys see it? It's just like its big brother. It will, big sister, I should say. It will bite you. If you don't fly it, it will drop out of the sky like a rock. Also on 3S, you need to be prepared to fly it like you stole it, because there will be a time when you have to jank those controls to get out of trouble, okay? Now, this thing feels more refined than the big brother, big sister. I can definitely say that I was never a huge fan of the Timber X compared to the 1.5. I always thought the 1.5 flew better, but that's because I'm not a 3D pilot. So I'm gonna feel like maybe that's where I'm gonna lean, just my initial thoughts were. That's what I'm gonna expect from this plane, but so far I feel like it's actually possibly a little bit better flying than the regular UMX. And that's a totally unexpected thing here. I wanna see how it touch and goes. Touch and go, touch and go. Oh, a little bit of wind. Oh man, that is awesome, guys. I'm doing wheel drags with the UMX. You know how uncommon that is? Our grass is a little bit tall out there right now, so I did have to jank it just then. Watching out for the windsock. You guys see that wind? It's handling the little bit of wind that we're experiencing just fine. And we have a cat. We have a cat patrol. Let's go say hi to the cat. Right in the bowl. Hi, cat. Ooh, she is hunting. She is hunting something. Okay, let's do a grass landing. It does the grass. So guys, if you're curious about UMX planes, Ultra Micro Extreme, we've been flying Ultra Micro Extreme planes for pretty much our entire time on this channel. We started with an Ultra Micro Extreme, and they are pumping so much technology into these things. Look, we have a timer set, but I've got ESC telemetry out the wazoo. I've got the voltage on the pack. It's just amazing that we have so much. Look, we have flaperons, we have safe select. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what safe is, sensor-rated flight envelope, that's auto leveling. AS3X is stabilization, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and shut off my throttle cut. I'm gonna take off my flaps and I'm gonna put safe on. This is what safe looks like. If you've ever thrown a paper airplane, what happens? You throw it and it kind of goes where it goes. Watch this, this is what safe does. See that? And then I tried to give it throttle and climb out of that. But all you see is just a straight level flight. The first time I did that, I knew I could learn to fly RC, and I did. So let's go pick it up. Basically, sensor-aided flight envelope gets its spatial awareness from AS3X, throttle kit is on, by the way, and it uses that then to make a decision. Do I need to level out? Do I need to pull up? Do I need to roll? And then what's the quickest route to level flight? So AS3X is the basis of SAFE. AS3X stands for Artificial Stabilization 3-axis. So you can see it's still trying to level itself because it thinks it's flying, okay? So let's do that again one more time, but this time I'm gonna fly out of it. So my throttle cuts off just to show you. There you go. Now, I do feel like maybe my battery shifted, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring it around and land it, and we'll show you what I'm talking about there too. So with safe on, that's our limited bank angles, and look at the attitude of the aircraft. It just wants to fly. I'm just gonna keep flying for a second, and then we're gonna turn back into the wind, just like you would with any other airplane, and I'm gonna try to land right at our feet. Full landing flaps, there you go. So that was basically safe doing most of the work. Throttle cuts on, out of the flaps. If you guys aren't familiar with Brian Phillips RC, what we do here is we help you guys make decisions on what planes to buy, but mostly what we want to do is stop one and done. Did you see what happened there, guys? My battery slipped out. Now, I went straight by the manual and I had this battery way up here. I think that's too far. I think what needs to happen, and by the way, that noise you hear, full disclosure, when we plug this back in, it's gonna probably be upset with us because of all the noise. AS3X is noisy because you get reverberation on there. So the way we held our battery in was super duper simple. We just took a piece of Velcro and wrapped it around the battery, and then that gave us a little bit of flexibility on where to mount it, okay? So you wouldn't have to do it that way, but I just hate putting Velcro on my batteries because it always seems to be on the wrong side the next time you fly a plane. So camera crew is gonna hold this too carefully. Her hands are getting full pretty quick. And what I wanna do is I wanna put this battery in here, a little bit different orientation, and see how it helps with those prop hangs. Okay, I'm actually gonna turn it sideways so that it's trapped in the frame of the fuselage. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this, okay? So then it doesn't have anywhere to go, okay? So if you have like a jarring effect when you do 3D, it won't be as big of an issue. Okay, throttle cuts on and tested. So always check your throttle cut. Camera crew's helping me with an extra set of hands. Okay, let's see if that'll go down there. Yep. Oh no, I think we, oh, it's just our battery leads in the way a little bit. We should be okay though. And that is magnetically attached. So let's just show you some STOL performance. STOL performance is short takeoff or landing, okay? So you see how short it is in front of us before I hit the tall grass? Do you think I can get off in time? Probably. Okay, so I am out of safe now, full up elevator, and we're gonna be prepared, basically full throttle and then all the way back on the stick. Oh yeah, amazing. Okay, out of the flaps all together. Now we would be on the tail heavy side right now, so it's gonna fly very unstable compared to what it was before, because we are a long ways back, but it should get on a prop hang a lot easier because we have so much authority on that tail. So if you guys are trying to do more tail authority, you can put your battery back in the aircraft a little bit. But it's gonna make it fly a little bit harder. Now, the cool thing is about this plane is that because we have AS3X and safe, you can pretty much turn safe on and just let safe help you along the way. And that's one thing you'll learn real quick when you get into this hobby. With safe on, you make wider turns and you depend on that plane coming back to level when you let go of the sticks. So if you're brand new to the hobby and you're trying to learn to fly, that's what's so cool about safe, is that you can literally let go of the sticks. Now it's not going exactly straight, but that's okay because it's good enough to get you in the ballpark, right? That is just amazing, guys. Look at this. Remember, you got to keep moving, okay? Look at that. Nice, easy, easy peasy. All right, so throttle cuts back on. I'm gonna shut safe back off. You can shut it off in flight or whatever. And I just realized that I had my expo in the top setting. So I'm gonna go to the insane mode, which is no expo, and I'm gonna basically take off for STOL again. Throttle cuts off, and I'm gonna fly with flaps deflected, which is gonna increase the elevator throw even. It's not gonna increase the throw, but it's gonna increase the effectiveness of that elevator. Okay, so here we go. So doing a nice scale looking takeoff. Now watch how pitchy this is gonna be. Incredible, super fast. It's so cool. And by the way, this is not hard to do, right, guys? Watch this. Look how slow it is. Look how stable it's flying. That's an AS3X. You see that bird going after it? That's a barn swallow, and he wants to take and make a nest in my entrance. See him? That barn swallow wants my entrance, and I want him here, just not in my entrance, because they will eat like their body weight in mosquitoes in a very short period. But look how sweet that thing comes across. Sorry, camera crew. Plenty of power. I don't want to call it unlimited vertical, but let's show you how just not really limited it is. Even with the spin, look at that. You can really do what you want on 3S, guys. All right, let's try doing a spin on the way down. And safe. Awesome, guys. Flies like its big sister, except it's small. It's small, and you can throw it in your work truck, and you can take it to the job site and show off at the end of your lunch break or whatever for your buddies. And I mean, this is just something else, guys. We've seen a lot of cool planes. I must say though, the timber has always been a great, one of the best UMXs of all time. All the features that we've experienced and enjoyed have just spoiled us in the market of RC. Full landing flaps. Okay, I'm at like 10% throttle here, but I have lots of battery juice left, I feel like. Okay, you guys see this? We've been flying forever, and we're getting down to where it's gonna give me a critically low alarm. You may notice that it's not as crisp on its rolls. I just feel like the wind is getting the best of us when we're exiting the rolls. Let's see if we can do like a really slow pass. I'm gonna go back around too. And this is just like a not all too untypical springish, early summer sort of confused winds. It's light, but it's still a little bit confused. So like look at the windsock. It looks like it's dead calm, but then look at the big windsock. You can tell that the air currents are going around kind of like all the directions, because look at that thing, it's swiveling. So that's like some of the hardest stuff for these UMX birds. If you have a little bit of laminar wind, it's kind of going down the runway, you can actually use that to your advantage and really enjoy it and have fun. But if it's like it is now, you need to be aware that these things, they are capable, guys. It's not like the old days with your Sport Cub S UMX. You definitely can fly this thing in a little bit of wind. And I'm telling you that not to encourage you to fly them in wind, but just to let you know that you can. How's it filming, camera crew?
Pretty good, I think.
Really?
I really like the yellow.
I did too. I love yellow planes. It's weird, but my grandpa used to love, my now late grandpa, used to love building yellow planes. And when they get in the air, man, they just pop. Mm-hmm. So this one's mostly white and a little bit of yellow pop, but man, we need some more yellow planes. And not necessarily like banana yellow, but I'm just saying like, look at the ground handling is so much better than what we're used to on these things. Mostly because those wheel skirts are attached with a screw now. Let's give him a shot of it going over real slow. I'll try to do that again, camera crew. Let's go one step forward. Okay, stop right there. Perfect, thank you. Going right overhead, slow. I don't know if you guys can see that. Feels like the confusion on the wind is always magnified when you're trying to do something like fly directly overhead and get a shot of it. And by the way, our battery has got to be about ready to just crap itself here.
Yeah, because you were at warning when you stopped to When your battery came out.
Oh yeah, I was at the timer warning.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you guys see that? Do you see how it just like behaved like it wanted to crash there? And then it looks like a drunken sailor? Check this out. I'm gonna show you one thing. See our battery? Our battery life is 11 volts right now, okay? So what I wanna do is we have 0.5 amps already run through, which is crazy. This is only a 300 milliamp hour battery. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna move that battery a little bit. See, I didn't move this time. So what I wanna do is I wanna move that forward a little bit, and I'd like to make that Velcro up here. That would help a lot on this plane. And I want it to be sitting down like that because I think it's gonna help get that weight down lower. And let's see if we can just, in fact, let's see if we can stick it sideways, if it'll go. I don't know if the canopy is gonna like it because it's kind of low profile at that point. Oh yeah, I think we're good. So now I'm gonna see how this thing flies in a more stable condition with a little bit of battery life that we have left. Let's switch sides and see how this works. Perfect right there. Okay, throttle cuts off, takeoff flaps only. We're gonna see if we can do this like a nice scale takeoff. Oh, so cool. And by the way, you can jank it in the air. Anybody could jank it in the air. That's one of the things about these ultra micros is that they're so light and they're so easy to fly that anybody could just put the throttle to it and pull back on the elevator. We're trying to show you that it actually ground handles, which is something we didn't have before. I'm at 50% throttle with almost dead battery, and look at the performance we're getting still. Amazing. What do you think of the full length ailerons, camera crew?
It seems like they're working really well.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to my 10% expo mode, which is basically like where I would normally fly. And I just wanna show you guys how nice, of course, the wind kicks up as soon as I say that. Literally touch and go. And the cool thing is about ultra micros is look at this runway here. We've got a essentially 37 by 47 foot square, and you could take off from virtually any direction. You don't need a 225 foot runway. You don't need a 1,000 foot runway. You don't even need a runway at all. You can take off of a dining room table, or you can take off from your truck bed. You know, there's just a million ways to do this. Obviously, you can hand launch this plane, no problem. Did we already demonstrate that?
Yeah, you did, because when you were showing safe.
Yeah, that's right. So really, at the end of the day, guys, there's nothing to complain about on this plane, unless you want to complain about the fact that it's a 3S instead of a 2S, so now you have to buy a new battery. There's something to complain about, folks. But I mean, if you're gonna complain about something like needing a 3S instead of a 2S, sorry, that's a great thing to be complaining about. Guys, that's full elevator authority. Look at that thing, it just does it. It's like a little mosquito up there. Try high speed pass if I can get it. I need to say this though, for those of you at home thinking, is this my first plane? I don't think you should do this for your first plane. I think what you should do is you should get the Timber UMX. Let's go about 2 steps over to the right. I think you should get the Timber UMX if you're looking for a UMX to learn with. In fact, I wouldn't even learn with that. I would do the Sport Cub SUMX. I would do it only on dead calm nights. Nights or mornings, like right before the sun comes out in the morning or right before the sun sets in the evening. And that's gonna give you the most calm during the day. Of course, if you get a nice calm day, you can fly whenever, but then I would move your way up. You could either skip the UMX Timber or you could put that into your repertoire. And I can never say that word right. And that means you would basically start with the UMX Sport Cub S2, I think they call it now. And then you could end up with this. There's our warning. Just trying not to push it here. I'm gonna take a nice landing. Whoa. Okay, a little slip action here. Oh, can't slip with flaperons very good. That is awesome, folks. Loving the way this thing flies. It's everything I expected it would be, 10.5 volts on our 3S pack. That's a pretty good run, guys. We got on our timer, let's go back to the main menu, 13, 07, 8, 9, 13, plus 6. 19 minutes. Oh, you guys won't get the joke until you see the Unbox build. radio setup, which is following this directly. We're not going to do 2 separate videos because it's so short, but really this plane is just phenomenal. It does everything you want it to do, and it does more. One thing I want to tell you, don't fly it on 2S. It'll fly on 2S, but it's going to be weak. I would only fly this on 3S. This is not like the Pits, where the Pits will do just fine on 2S. I feel like this thing does it, and it does it well. The thing that's really cool about it is it's also got Flatron setup. You don't even need to do any special programming. All you do is you set up the flat mode and you're golden. This will also do spoilerons. But again, why would you do spoilerons on this plane? I want to see what forward programming looks like in this too, real quick. Let's click. We're going to go down. Is there even forward programming? Yes, there is. No, there's not. It's going to time out. Okay, so there's not forward programming, so you don't need to worry about forward programming. So for those of you that are using the NX8, you have plenty of channels. If you're using the NX6, I think you'd even be okay because you've got the 7th channel. But that all being said, we have only run out of channels on 2 occasions so far. And really, it was kind of like preferential treatment because I wanted inboard ailerons and outboard ailerons, as well as inboard flaps for Crow and all that on the same plane in the same wing type. So that's 2 planes that we've had that happen. You haven't seen the second, but the first one is a Horizon Hobby Hangar 9 Ultra Stick. Oh yeah, that's right. It was the P. Well, no, the Ultra Stick would have had the same thing. No, they didn't have retracts.
Right.
That's why we got away with it on the Ultra Stick, but we didn't on the P47. Yep. And that had flaperons. So I don't know.
Added the master gain.
Yep. We had to just basically set it once. So the battery's already dead. Just look at that. I'm sorry. I got to do one more circuit. Full landing flaps here. Look at that thing. Just absolutely gorgeous-tastic. Gorge-tastic. Guys, it's gorge-tastic. Get one for yourself. I always fly them until they die for you here on Brian Phillips RC. Look at that. Beautiful ground handling. And yes, there was a little bit of a hiccup at the end, but I gotta say, you just don't get that on UMX planes, but we get it on UMX planes. We get this on the UMX Timber X. Super fantastic. Really happy with this thing. Does everything it says it's gonna do and more. I love the way it looks. Ours had an imperfection, and I think it might have been because it was an early sample. We had like a bump on our nose. So like your spinner will not look like that. Ours got bumped, okay? But beyond that, super happy with this plane. Love the way that it went together because we didn't have to. Yep. Best type of build possible. Now, the other thing too is we did supplement our plane with one additional feature, and that is we added this piece of Velcro. Full disclosure. So we don't mean to disappoint anybody or misrepresent the truth here. I think it might come with one small piece of Velcro in that bag that had the, this will also work with floats as we've seen on other previous UMX planes. This thing will have plenty of power to get off and break that surface tension that you might otherwise have trouble with on some of the 2S variety of planes. However, in my personal experience, I've always been able to fly the 2S off water. I was gonna say get it up, but I resisted the temptation. But I've always been able to get it up when we're flying off water, YouTube. So anyway, without further ado, camera crew, don't chime in. So at the end of the day, this plane is great. It looks good. It acts good. It's got lights. It's got flaps. It's got flaperons. It's got spoilerons. It's got literally everything. It's like Horizon is listening to me finally. Where's the airliner? Sorry, I couldn't resist. You know it. So if you want to buy this thing from the links in the video description below, if you want to buy this thing from the links in the video description below, if you want to buy the battery that I just handed the camera crew, of course, she's covering it up with the Velcro. There you go. You can buy this one. This is 300 milliamp hour 3S. Mm-hmm. And that's a 30C pack, right? Yep. Not to be confused with Smart technology. It looks like Smart. It's just a dumb battery because the Smart technology is not small enough to fit in those yet. Maybe someday. But for now, super happy with this plane. It does and says everything you want it to, and you will like it. It also does speak AS3X. It is loud. Do you hear that beautiful sound of silence? Mm-hmm. ES3X does tend to break that a little bit. It's like flying the Cessna, the Carbon Z Cessna 150T. Mm-hmm. You plug that thing on, you can hear it from a county away. This thing's a lot like that, but it's so small you wouldn't think it could be that loud.
Yeah.
So anyway, love the plane. Very well done. Good job, Eflite. Good job, Horizon Hobby, on this one. We like it. NX8's been great. If you guys have questions about this, leave them down below. We try to get to those as quick as we can. We are a little bit behind because we had a couple weeks of vacation, which meant that production was like kind of priority. And so I was a little bit behind on those, so I apologize. But guys, this plane is going to be great and you will love it. Get one for yourself. Follow the links in the video description below. By the way, this thing, if you want it for your very own, order it ASAP, because the first shipment is going to be coming in. There'll be a small gap. So if you guys want to get into the second batch, then just quickly order. And who knows, maybe you're watching this in 2 years. This is one of those planes that Horizon makes and they just do well. So people are going to love them. And if anybody has any gripes about another timber, just get one and you'll understand why they keep making them, because they are just freaking awesome. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Stay tuned. You can watch us unbox this thing and set up the radio. Super easy setup. Took us like 5 minutes. And, you know, Brian Phillips, 5 minutes, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys. Our audience is awesome here on YouTube. We have the world's best audience. If I haven't said it in a while, I forgot, so I apologize. Also, special thanks to our Patreons. If you want to become one, help support us on a monthly basis, we have that in the video description below as well. And then don't forget to check out Brian Phillips RC. And of course, we have PayPal too, if you don't like monthly support. So any of those ways you can support us. But at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is buy this awesome plane or that awesome plane. Just look, there's a list below and you'll be helping support us. BrianPhillipsRC.com, www.brianphillipsrc.com. That's what we need you to check out. It's got all the same content that you're seeing here on YouTube, except it's over there and you can follow right back to what you need to see, but it's a little bit better organized. And that way the links can all be in one place. We are limited on the video description on how long we can make that. And so we are doing the Brian Phillips RC to help, you know, just kind of make it easier on you guys. So plus Megan has done tons of work on it.
And it's hard for us to update links when things change.
Yep.
And so if you go to the website and you see a broken link, you can let us know.
Please do.
When things change, it's a little bit easier for us to keep them updated,
yep,
so they're not broken for you.
That's right. And if they are broken, let us know. We will change them ASAP and we will update, you know, put a comment or something in case somebody had the same problem. So we really appreciate you guys letting us know that. It does help us, because ultimately, and if you ever do see a broken link, but you're like, you know, this $250 is burning a hole in my pocket. I literally need to spend it right now, Brian. It's an emergency. Well, then what you can do is just follow the master links, which are right at the top of the list. And we have master links so that you can go to the Horizons website and you can just follow and just, you know, do your normal shopping, and then we'll get credit for what you buy. So anyway, that's the way it works. If you guys want more details, hit us up in the comments below. We can talk to you about it there. And as usual, we really appreciate you guys supporting us and being part of our little RC family here. Definitely click the like button. We try to do long formats so you guys can get all the answers you need from one stop. And if you decide to watch the other guys, we appreciate that too. I mean, I love watching YouTube. That's what we do. That's how we get our start doing this. But now I'm on the other side of the camera, and so we just can't hardly believe we're here, and we just appreciate you guys. So thanks, camera crew, for helping us to film the world's best camera crew in action right now behind that very camera, which is, yes, a Galaxy S21 Plus Ultra, whatever.
Yeah.
Extra HD, super fantastic. I don't know, whatever they call it now. I can tell you this because we get this question so often. People always ask, what do we use for equipment? We use cell phones and we use Rode wireless mics, Rode Wireless 2. That means we have two subjects, and that way the camera crew is on mic and I'm on mic. Other than that, before that, we used a Galaxy S9. Before that, we used a Galaxy S7. Before that, we used an S5. Before that, we used an S3.
Yep.
That is the entire history of our camera gear. Yep. Before this, we used a couple other mics. This is by far and away the best mics we've done. They work better in wind. They work better on regular. The only thing I don't like about these mics is that they are kind of a little bit bulky. And I don't want to pay for the Rode lav mic that you could stick it down on your side and have it poke out your shirt or whatever. Beyond that, we love them. And I have a little pocket protector because I'm extra nerdy.
Super nerdy.
I am not afraid of looking like a nerd on the internet because everybody already knows it anyway.
True.
Stay tuned. So much more on Brian Phillips RC. YouTube, Brian Phillips. Look at this. Totally new, totally exciting. We're gonna open it up right now, but we're gonna see just how exciting and totally new it is. Because you never really know. You probably already read it on the box. You may have seen the image from the thumbnail. Oop, we've got some packing lists. I'm gonna grab those out of here real quick and just make sure I look through this and see what's going on. Yep, everything looks pretty much straight there. This is gonna be exciting. Oh yeah. Welcome to the club, UMX Timber X. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that thing. Oh yeah. We haven't had a brand new UMX for some time. And guess what, guys? This thing is gonna be awesome. Note the ailerons are humongo. Now, I am a little bit concerned because I heard about the ailerons and I said, are they flaprons or are they ailerons? I don't know yet. We're gonna find out in the course of the Unbox Build radio setup. And you know why we love UMXs, camera crew? Why do we love UMXs? Let's see how fast we can do it. It will be an uncustomary fast video from Brian Phillips RC, so relatively. All right, whoa, I didn't even have to undo the tape. That's a little bit scary. Look how huge those ailerons are. Oh, my nose cone is dented. Dang it. That is so frustrating, look. Dented. All right, I'm just gonna forgive them because I'll probably dent it in 5 minutes. They must have been like, well, we're sending it to Brian, so, you know, he's probably gonna crash it like at least twice on Maiden. There's a sack, comes with some adapters. Those are for floats. Okay, and the wheels actually do look dirty. I wonder if this one was flown already. What the heck is going on, Horizon? Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, so these, there's little crinkles here. There's crinkles here. Oh, that tail is huge. Look at the elevator, amazing. Look at the elevator, steel from left to right, amazing. Ball links, are you kidding me, on a UMX? Look, ball links. That is something we've never seen on a UMX. And then right here, guys, of course, I'm gonna sit here and talk about how amazing it is and take forever. That's what we do on, oh, it's number 8, guys, number 8. Evidently, number 8 got crashed by somebody. And we were just the lucky ones that got the crashed ones. I wonder if the Sailor's got a crashed one.
Did you win a prize?
I'm guessing not. Well, for now. Look at this. That's amazing. Linear servos with ball joints. Okay, those are huge ailerons. Look at the size of those things. It's like almost the entire wing. I do like that the end of the wing is not part of the aileron because that would be really hokey looking. Okay, all right, so let's see how fast we can get this going. Timber X, gonna be amazing. So we'll just lay this down. Now, as you know, one of the best things about a UMX plane, and Horizon is one of the few that does a phenomenal job of this. Not everybody does this to where you can literally put it back in the box because look, they have a little spot for batteries. And then of course your transmitter, who knows where that's gonna go. But there's a manual right here, okay? So let's just break that out real quick. Stick it in the hole. All right, so what do we have inside of here? We have the usual manual. We've got Eflite Advanced Electric Flight. That's your registration card thing. Reminding you to register your aircraft. And here's the manual. This is where you're gonna be able to find it if you wanna look it up for updates. And what we're gonna do is I wonder if they use the new setup like what they had in Cirrus. Okay, so I want to get this big honking box off of here right now. So if you decide to do floats with the Timber X, they still work just like before. And this thing is going to be super capable, so it should be no problem. You know, some of the original 2S models had a little bit of issue with the amount of juice that they produced or were able to work with. And so you did run into some issues with power breaking the surface tension on waterways, but you know, when we're up to 3S, that shouldn't be a problem. That's right. Did I say 3S? I sure did. And you want to know why? Because this uses the same power system as the Pitts, baby. Wow, look at that. That is a big brushless motor. 1208, is that 1900 kV? Okay, so that's a deep motor. It's got lots of power. Big LEDs right here for flashing, just like we had on the original timber. And then look, it's just a little bit simpler in there because you have less going on for the flaps. Now, normally and ordinarily, and you guys know this about me on Brian Phillips RC, I am a big defender of inboard flaps. However, you've heard me say it before too, if you listen carefully, I like full length flaps. What? Oh, it's so weird. That thing got cut off of there. I hate these things. So, all right, what are we gonna do first? We have to do radio setup because we need to bind this thing to our transmitter. So obviously we have our NX8, and so we are going to use the NX8. You'll note there's a JST connector on there. So let's talk about batteries for a quick second because batteries are obviously half of this battle. There are new batteries available just like this. You saw them featured in the pits. We're gonna feature them today. I don't know if we're even gonna bother with the 2S because I feel like the performance might be a little bit lame. It kind of just depends. If it's amazing rocket ship style performance on 3S, then maybe we'll try 2S, but if not, there is a 2S that's available that's got that little JST adapter. And let's talk about adapters real quick because, you know, obviously we're trying to make a quick video here. Right here's 2 chargers. If you don't have, you know, the cash for one of these big boys right here, the S2200, 200 watt channels. You've got the big EC5, you got the smaller EC3, and then of course the balance lead. You can go into one of these. This only goes up to 4S though, and that's the S155, which has one channel at 55 watts, but you still have the big capability. Now, I'll be honest with you, how often do you see a 4S with that? I'm gonna tell you how often, this often, right there. That's the only one I have right here. It's kind of a big baby. So anyway, don't forget the adapters if you're going 2S, okay? Just saying, don't forget the adapters so you can plug in your JST if you haven't already built one and if you don't already have one. Now, if you're like me, you've already built like 14 of them, or we have them sitting here because we got them from the manufacturer, and they are pretty economical. So unlike some of the smart technology, those adapters are super cheap. So they're pretty fair to us on those. And I know some of you guys get a little annoyed when we have to buy new adapters, so do I. But it is the reality of smart tech. That being said, let's set this thing up and see just how quick we can do it. The radio setup is one of the features on Brian Phillips RC. So if you want to help support us, buy the planes you see us review in our videos. And you can do that by following through the video description below. There are links. Follow in the links and you will be helping to support our channel. It's the best way possible because everybody wins. You get what you want, we get what we want, which is small commissions, help fund our channel. And then obviously, if you decide you can't do that, don't want to, or for whatever reason, you've got some other, you know, problem, we have PayPal and Patreon as well. And, but the biggest thing you could do is click the bell for notifications, obviously be subscribed, click the bell for notifications, come back, watch your videos, like them. And that is what you can do if you don't have anything you want to support us financially by buying these planes. I mean, guys, these planes are awesome. And we always let you know the way it really is. You hear that? Whoa, look at the landing gear. I didn't even notice that. Those are thicker than I remember. And look, they have a support for the back. Thank you for listening, Horizon. And those things actually look bigger now that I sit and look at it. I wonder if they're the same. They might be the same. I could be mistaken on that. But look how thick the control horns are and stuff. That's nuts. I hope this tail wheel holds up. I love the Tundra tires, by the way. I've always liked that on the Timber UMX. Okay, so they did go to this simpler setup, it looks like. Page 5, not page 4. For whatever reason, it's been hitting page 4 lately. To obtain the best flight performance, we recommend using DSM-2, DSMX, obviously. They're gonna. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna turn on our transmitter. And once it's turned on, we're gonna click the back and the cancel. That's the shortcut. If you don't wanna do it that way, you can just hit this, click the scroll, go all the way down to system setup, confirm the disconnect of RF, light goes off, model select, add new model, acro create. While that creates, look at this. Set all transmitter programming with a blank acro model. Do not model reset, then name the model. If you model reset at this point, it's gonna basically clear anything you do, just so you know. Or you can clear another model and then just like assign the controls and stuff through it. So set servo travel to 100, flight mode you want for switch 1 and switch 2, inhibit. That's weird. Why are they telling us that? And then channel input config. Okay, again, okay, so it looks like gear is already preset to the gear channel, and then aux 1 is for flaps. Oh, sweet, so we don't have to mess with it. And it doesn't even tell us a wing type. So do we have to set up flaperons?
Over here, wing type. One flap.
Yep, 1 aileron, 1 flap. Oh, wow, so we're treating it like regular flap. Okay, cool. And then down here we have the timer suggested at 6 minutes, and that is true because even though these are considered or look like they're smart, they're actually not smart. They are just branded with the same labeling, and just so you guys know that, this is a balance lead, just like a regular balance lead. This is a JST, like a regular JST lead. But these cells are made in one of the nicest plants that you can get batteries, and that's part of the reason why they're expensive. And part of the reason why Spectrum batteries are better than some of the, like the Eflite ones we used to get that would be like, puffed immediately. Sometimes we got them, I opened a plane, got it, just puffed when I got it. So same thing with these 2S batteries. And you're also gonna note something. When you're dealing in the UMX environment, the JST connector is way better than the micro pH for pitch. Now I gotta say that with the caveat that these still have a micro pH connector on them. So just keep that in mind. If you do get serious about wanting to draw a lot of current from these batteries, you know, you can take that off and just shorten lead, do what you gotta do. But for me, I'm just gonna leave it stock because I'm fine. In the 2S configurations, we don't even really use that much anymore. We've gone with 3S on pretty much every UMX flight we've done. But we do have them, like I think the Pitts is capable of taking the 2S too, but it was kind of like, you know, if you're gonna fly it, you might as well put it on 3S. And by the way, I don't think the price difference is like very small. So just go with the 3S. There's no reason really to get the 2S. At this point, I would go 3S. Okay, and you know, dollar for donuts, you know, you're gonna get the, if it's $5 more or something, who cares? You know, just get the better battery, get what you need. And I would not ever just get one battery, because if you're talking a 6-minute flight time, or for Brian Phillips, it'd be like 37 minutes plus crash. Okay, anyway, all right, so all we have to do is go down to aircraft type. Nope. Do we have to do aircraft type? Yep. And 1 flap, 1 aileron, so a little bit strange. And then we have to change this picture, of course, too. I think the carbon cub is like the closest one. Ooh, see, you can even change it to floats. Okay, and then F mode setup. See, they're inhibited already. I don't even know why they put that on the list. Kind of strange. Huh, very weird. Do not set your travel on these ones over 100. In fact, it used to be that the wisdom within the RC community said that you run these down below 100, like 95 or 97. If you want to make long throw linear servos last longer, run them before 100, plus or minus, okay? Now, this radio system will allow you to go up to 150 or below 150, but you will overdrive those servos, so just be aware of it, okay? So if you wanna, you know, make that investment in yourself, you can do it, but for the sake of showing what this thing's capable of, we're gonna go ahead and show it at 100%, okay? Looks like everything else is done. Yeah, I don't even see anything else. That's like super, super simple. Of course, flaps. Okay, so back to the main screen, click into the function list. I'm gonna set up dual rates expo, my normal Brian Phillips method. So on switch F, we'll go to like, actually we're gonna go 0 on this because this is a 3D plane. We'll do like 10, it's got huge ailerons. So I'm gonna go like pretty aggressive on this, just in case there's an issue and I need something to get down to the ground. I doubt I'll have that big of a problem. So it'll be like 0, then 10, then 40, which is a lot more than usual, okay? Then we're gonna jump into elevator. We're gonna do the same exact thing. So 0, and you could actually run negative expo, guys. If you weren't already aware, you can run that negative. It makes your stick even more sensitive at the center. So it's like if you wanna be able to do like crazy 3D, you can do that by setting that expo to a negative value. Okay, whoops, I changed it to G, there. Oh, so we're gonna set this one to 0, 10, and 40 as well. So I always start at the same settings on all 3. You guys might want to change them a little bit different than that. This is a highly preferential thing right here, so don't think it's highly subjective. You guys can do whatever you need to do. Throttle cut, obviously we want to set that to switch H, so down and then back toward our belly, and just looking at the behavior with the stick. Yep, so it's locked, it's unlocked. Okay, cool. So we're done, it's tested. Throttle curve, we're not messing with. None of that, we are messing with flaps. I'm gonna set it to switch B. They recommend some other switch, I'm sure. Actually, they don't. They don't recommend any switch, that's fine. Okay, so it was 17% elevator correction, that's crazy.
Wow.
Okay, so position 1 is 0, then it's gonna be position 0 is 0. Position 1 is -50, and then position 2 is -100. So we're only experiencing half of the throw. Why? Because these are flaperons, so you don't want it to actually be up and down. Okay, so then we wanna go elevator +17. Now this is where you get into the weird, confusing stuff, is if you have an inboard aileron, usually do positive correction, but then if you have an outboard aileron, you do negative correction, which is weird. But then when you have a full length, it depends on the airframe. So like if you're doing a jet and you're doing flaperons, you just have to experiment. I would say if you don't know, leave them blank, slow down to accommodate for the balloon, then change it accordingly. So if you put on the flaps on an F-16 and the nose goes up, then just change that so you have a down correction. Let's say you put the flaperons on an F-16 because they're just an aileron, flaperon, and it nose pitches down, then you have to do a negative value, okay? So that's not uncommon on an inboard aileron that acts as a flaperon. But a full length is it's gonna act more like a conventional plane. So just something we've learned. Okay, now there are some different assignments you can do. Okay, so advanced setup. UMX Timber X includes flaperon option to activate it using the transmitter sticks and stick movements. The ailerons function normally from the factory, responding to aileron input from the transmitter. To control the ailerons as flaps, activate the flaperons option. Once activated, use the flap system in the transmitter to command the ailerons down together, acting as flaps. Additionally, the ailerons can move up together, acting as spoilers, so the spoilerons. So the flaperons continue to respond as ailerons. For roll control while they're up or down, okay, so that's what flaperons or spoilerons do. So you have to toggle the gear channel 5 times. Okay, so engage the flaperon feature, turn the transmitter on, power on the aircraft, hold both sticks in the opposite corners to command throttle. Okay, so like that. Unless you're on mode 1 and mode 2, you do the same thing, which is kind of weird. Okay, and to toggle the gear switch 5 times, 1 up, 1 down is 1. So why don't they just say 10 times? Anyway, control surfaces move, alternately select. This will notice a change in pattern. Okay, so I guess we'll see. We'll see what it looks like because I don't know what it's gonna look like. So far, pretty simple setup. Oh, and then I'm gonna set my speed to 2 seconds. They didn't say a speed, did they?
They did not.
Nope, they didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it to 2 seconds. You guys may not wanna do that if you're doing a lot of 3D flying. And then what else do we wanna do? They want a timer set for 6 minutes. So we'll go ahead and do a countdown timer with a 1 out activation. That just starts it when you're over the threshold of 25% in this case by default. At 10 seconds, I want a voice. So a countdown, and then I want tone and vibrate at expiration with a tone every minute thereafter. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. That's how quick this is. And that's with me jabbering. 18 minutes, that's like practically didn't even happen for Brian Phillips RC. All right, throttle cut's on. I'm gonna very carefully do this. Now, you'll note that there is Velcro in here. Do you see the Velcro? That Velcro's in there, and guess what? I don't have any Velcro on my batteries. So what are we gonna do about that, camera crew? No.
But you have to get your garbage Velcro that you saved for 5
We're not doing shelf liner. There's no strap at all. There is literally nothing in there. So we're gonna do something different, camera crew. Also known as Megan. Something different. We've done this before. It's not anything totally new. But what we have to do is we have to figure out, this is the pokey style, okay? So we need the, kind of like the soft.
the loops.
Look. Okay? I know. I was committed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and see if it's big enough. It might be a little bit too short. Yep, a little bit too short. This one's plenty long. This one's, ooh, that one's super good. Okay, so let's see if that one works as good. Oh yeah, that's real good. Okay, so option one, I'm just gonna basically wrap this around and then that's gonna be that, right? It's gonna be so simple and it's so easy and effective that you guys are gonna be like, wow, that was really easy. Since when do you do things the easy way, Brian? Oh, wait. I think I'm just gonna, that's like super sticky, goodness gracious. Where did that come from? I need more of that Velcro. Yeah, I kind of screwed up on that. I kind of need to leave this on there, don't I? You can just stick it to the paper too and then it wouldn't come off. I probably do plastic later, but for now, I'm just gonna wrap it around and then I'm just gonna peel a little bit back here like this, like whatever, half a distance or so. Okay, and I'll just stick that on there, okay. Well, that worked pretty good actually. So then this is sticking to itself and then that becomes our binding agent to hold our battery where the battery needs to be, okay? So it's good. All right, cool. So we can put this stuff away. And basically what we need to do is we need to check CG too, because we haven't talked CG at all. What is the CG on there, camera crew?
Good. What?
Or did they even mention it? Sometimes on the UMX planes, it seems like it's not like a big factor.
Yeah, right here, 42.
42 millimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get your calipers out or a measuring tape or whatever. I'm gonna go to 42, you say.
42 seems.
What'd you say?
42.
Well, it's a big wing. Look at the cord of that thing. It's huge. It's like a third the length of the plane. It looks like an ultralight. Okay, so 42. You guys may notice the screen is nice and dark. We ordered many, many Chinese batteries for this thing. Okay, so here's 42.
Cost us many, many cents.
Yeah, it was like, what was it, like 80 cents or something?
$3 for 1,000.
It wasn't worth 1,000, was it? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess I poked it. All right, so I've got my marking there and there. Ooh, way not enough nose weight. Okay, so I'm going to quickly, I'm gonna slide this forward. You see how it's forward on the battery? That allows me to get that battery all the way up to the bulkhead where the motor is, let's call it, right? I'm gonna just put this, and you actually got a balance lead. We could use a voltage alarm too.
I was gonna ask you if you were gonna do that.
Probably not right now. We might come back and do that later. Okay, so let's see if that's enough. Oh, and we need to put this on too. So we're just gonna drop this in here. Okay, cool. Yeah, not quite there. That's probably not so good since the Velcro is way back there. Not gonna do us very much good back there.
But can you even go any further forward?
Not with the Velcro. But you see what I'm talking about? That's as far forward. Well, I did just technically slide it forward about 1/8 of an inch. It's good enough. Let's just say on 3S, 300 milliamp hour, you gotta bring that thing all the way forward. The great news about that is that means you can probably use a bigger pack. Okay, so now that we've got that marked, we should be good to go in terms of going ahead and getting this thing bound up. Binding these planes is like the easiest type of binding because really there's not much to it. You basically plug it in. If it's a virgin plane, then it will not like do anything. It's just gonna go straight into bind mode, okay? So watch this. So I'm gonna plug this in, watch your hands, cause like, you know, you never really know. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this around just in case. I'm just gonna go straight to bind. Bind.
DSNX 22 milliseconds. Telemetry.
See how easy that is? It's just amazing, guys. So much easier than what we had when we started this whole thing. Oh, that's huge. Oh yeah. And by the way, I can already tell safe is on because look, that is a heck of a lot of throw. Okay, so I immediately want to switch this. Click servo setup, scroll over to reverse, and we'll reverse gear. Okay. So now watch, elevator up, safe. See how safe is on, there's less throw. Safe is off, more throw. Every control surface you can check. Safe is off. Got it, guys? Okay, throttle cuts on and tested. We're good to go there. Look at those lights, amazing. Love it. All the white is the same color too, which is really nice. I don't remember that being true on previous. We have an anti-crash beacon down here. We've got a white strobe on the wingtips plus nav lights. Guys, there's really no reason we shouldn't see this on every plane we get, and they are awesome because these are really good lights. Even if these little lights came on a big plane, I would be satisfied. Yeah. Like for instance, planes that just came out recently that maybe didn't have lights. Just saying. All right, so let's see if we can do this thing, okay? Let's come over here, camera crew, and we're gonna show them what it looks like. Elevator back, elevator forward, okay. Yaw left, yaw right, roll left, roll right. Okay, so now we're gonna check for stabilization. Throttle cut is off. Ooh, no, I had my stick bumped. Oh yeah! Okay, so throttle cut's back on, and it's singing a song. Up, down, down, up. Okay, everything's working there. So now we're gonna check safe. Throttle cut's already on and tested. Safe is on, look at that. Trying to find the quickest route to level. Elevator, trying to level it out. Trying to bring it to level. Pretty sweet. Okay, so safe is off. Now, let's go ahead and do our binding for flaps. Let's check flaps first. Oh, what the heck? You don't even need to set it, guys. Look at that, it's already set. And then as you can see, flaps, takeoff flaps, landing flaps, booyah. Don't even need to set it. So cool, guys. Okay, so that being said, we are still gonna unfortunately stop the video and do it out of order because that's just the way we do things here on Brian Phillips RC. But I am just gonna go out on a limb and say this thing was awesome. If you wanna buy one for yourself, you've already seen it fly, so you can make up your own mind. Definitely a keeper. So guys, check the link in the video description below if you wanna help support our channel. Buying from those links, small commissions come to us from the manufacturers, distributors, and hobby shops and things like this that we work with. And you'll be supporting Brian Phillips and our family, as well as obviously our attempts to bring you guys all the latest and greatest in the hobby world. And we love doing this, and aviation, obviously. So very excited to bring you this thing. Looks cool. Timber is a keeper. You guys got to check this thing out. And if you're not going to buy it from the links, at least check it out. Go find somebody at the airfield that's got one. You'll be impressed. Stay tuned. So much more to come. Obviously, the NX8 has been great. We haven't really had much to say about it lately because it's just been working great. And then obviously, you know, these little batteries they've been good. We haven't had any issues with them. And I think you might be able to fly a little bit bigger battery in there. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on second thoughts maybe. But for now, we got to get out and fly this thing because I'm kind of dying. Stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC coming. Okay, so off camera before we went and flew this, I forgot I didn't name the model. But then when I came out of menu, I got this alarm. And I want to talk to you guys about this alarm because I've gotten this question in recent history. And this warning is annoying. You hear that? You can't really stop it easily. So what I want to do is I want to hit cancel first. Note that when you scroll over to the telemetry data, you can see that I'm at 12.2 volts and it's claiming that that's not a voltage for flying. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So anyway, because you know, 12.6 is 4.2 times 3. So I don't know what they're concerned about. That seems pretty reasonable to me. So anyway, if you come over here, 12.3, and it's showing that it's not charged, like that doesn't make sense. So there's some sort of a warning issue. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to fix that. Audio events, telemetry warnings. You can also go in through telemetry as well and get to the same place. So smart battery, double click. And I'm just going to start up volts. 4.1 times 3 would be 4.3, correct? So that's where your warning is. So like if you actually had a dead battery, it might be kind of nice to know that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just set this down like a little bit lower, like 3.8. I do want that alarm, it's just I don't want it at 4.1. That's like not really enough. And then overcharge, no, I don't care. If it's overcharged, it will have already caught on fire and blown up in a million pieces. Imbalance, I could care less. Smart ESC, look at all that stuff, guys. Amazing. So stinking cool. You know what I didn't check for?
What?
Okay, never mind. I didn't want to bring it up. Because I don't think there's thrust reverse on this. Oh, well, that's okay because we still have flaps and flaps make me happy as well as LEDs. So guys, you already heard it once, but stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. We're here to help you set up these crazy things that are brand new and weird and not quite as easy as you hoped they might be. And that's what we do here best on Brian Phillips RC. So stay tuned. So much more to come.